on the dot, Eastern time it looks like. Well, let's get started. So, welcome to the Friday. It is 6th of February 2015. And welcome to the Tim Wukar Daily Wake Up Call. Andrew Crute here, coming to you from actually the future, the 7th of February. It's 2:30 a.m. here, but I am ready and pumped to give you guys some value to lead into your Friday and the weekend, and to help you just refocus again and again, and make changes or build on your habits, your effectiveness, and make 2015 the year that is going to launch everything for you. So, just want to quickly touch on last week, if you're on, or if you caught the recording that Jason's been posting in the Google Plus community. I'm doing a series, 7-part series, on the 7 habits of highly effective people. And last week we touched on the foundation, and which was kind of like where this all comes from, and also on habit 1, being proactive. I'm not going to go over that because obviously we've got a sorry, I forgot to even press record. But we are not going to go over last week's. You can go and check out the recording. This week we're diving into habit 2, which is the second part of the private victory, moving from dependence to independence, and it is beginning with the end in mind. And I'm going to start with the quote that's at the beginning of some material I have of some training I went through with this a few years ago. And so I'm just going to start with this, and then we're going to dive right in, guys. So the quote is, "Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?" "That depends a good deal on where you want to get to," said the cat. "I don't much care where," said Alice. "Then it doesn't matter which way you go," said the cat. And that's from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So it's where Alice talks to the Cheshire Cat, and she doesn't really know where she wants to go. She also wants to go somewhere. And I think it's a very poignant thing that if we don't have a clear-cut direction or destination, there's no one can really give us directions on where to go, because we don't know where we want to go. So this is a really key foundational principle for our lives, which is something that I've been working on, and these things we're constantly working on each and every day of our lives. But it's one of the areas that I really find useful to be implementing and revisiting, to make sure that the goal or the destination that I have is aligning with everything else in my life. And I think that's a really good way to be living. So the paradigm that we look at each week is an ineffective paradigm and an effective paradigm. If we're living in an ineffective paradigm, we're going to live by default, which means we're going to be easily influenced by those things around us, by people, by society, whatever else, and we just kind of go with the flow. If we want to be effective, we have to live by design. That means that we're deciding where we're going, what we're doing, and how we're going to get there. Okay, so what does that really mean? Well, with all outcomes, anything in our life, things are created twice. And some of this stuff you may have heard in different areas, but there's what's called two creations. And there's the first is the mental creation, and then there's a physical creation. So let's give an example. Okay, so my wife and I bought a house about 18 months ago, and it's a brand new house, newly constructed. When this house didn't just come to be, it just didn't turn up one day. Someone had to actually physically sit down with a piece of paper and, well, these days probably a computer, and they actually had to create the design, the layout, the schematics, the size. Everything had to be created onto this paper or computer design before even an ounce of dirt could be dug up. So there was that mental creation or blueprints were created, and then those blueprints allowed the physical creation of the home that I'm currently sitting in. So you could apply this to any area in your life. You've got like a meeting agenda. If you've got a meeting, you're going to have a clear agenda and objectives, and then the meeting theoretically should come out to be a effective, productive meeting. Your own life. We've just come through January. A lot of people set up New Year's resolutions or make goals for 2015. Well, those goals wouldn't be able to come to fruition if you hadn't have sat down and clearly defined what you wanted to achieve in 2015. So first we have to create mentally, then we have to create physically. Okay, so what kind of drives this physical or mental creation can be things like a personal mission statement. So I'm not sure if you probably have seen organizational mission statements before and things like that, but it's really important to have this principle-centered focus in your life where everything you do is kind of aligned back to this mission statement. So it could be as short as a couple of lines of words. For some people it's like a page or 2 pages of summarizing their entire life and how they want to live. But as long as it is clear and concise to you, then that's what is important. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so one thing I do want to talk about, and because we're all on this call and we're business entrepreneurs, business focused people, something I want to talk about is the difference between leadership and management. Okay, because we're in business, we have teams of people. It might be one person, you might be just leading yourself right now because you're new into this. You might have hundreds or even thousands of people in your downline. It doesn't really matter. These principles are universal, so it applies to everyone that's here. So leadership and management are sometimes interchanged, but they are two very different things. Leadership is considered the first creation in this area, okay? So and management is the second creation, but we'll talk about that more next week when we do Habit 3. But leadership has to come first. So management is bottom line focused. So that's working out how you're going to make more income or get more income through the things that you do. But leadership deals with the top line. What are the things I want to accomplish? So it's summarized this way. Peter Drucker says management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things. Okay? So an analogy of that would be that management is efficiency in climbing the ladder of success. So that's moving from your TM to TLA or TL to TC to SD, etc. That's being efficient in that and being able to do that quickly is management. Leadership is making sure that you have the ladder against the right wall. Okay, and for people in team, for me personally, with Team WUKA, the decision to one of the biggest reasons that my wife and I joined Doobly and this business was because the vision and the creation, this physical or mental creation that Matt Trainer and Rich Cook have of wanting to change the world, but with Team WUKA, that was really passionate and powerful to us, and that was a mental creation that we could buy into and then go through and deliver. So having that leadership in place is really important, and it's not just from this big team of Team WUKA and stuff like that. You've got to create that for yourself and your own team. So that's really the main points I want to cover with Habit 2. Let's get it right there. Beginning with the end in mind. It's all about a conscious creation of where you want to end up. So what do you want to do? You don't take holidays or vacation and just go turn up at the airport one day and go, oh, I'll get on the next plane. No, you actively plan where you want to go, when you want to go, and how you're going to get there. And that is a really, really important thing to do in all areas of your life. Some areas that we all do that very actively, but if we did it in all areas of our life, and especially in the business side and our family life and personal life and stuff, that can make us an extremely effective person. So I'm going to wrap up there. I'm going to take everyone off mute. If anyone's got any questions, comments, jump out. Love to hear from you. And otherwise, short and sweet today. We'll kick off Friday, and let's go and do it. Hey, Steve, go ahead. Yep. No, thank you. No problem at all. And I'll pop that in the Google. I'll pop that in the Google Plus group so that you can go and grab that, or anyone else. Awesome. Another good one that just follows on from that Stephen Covey puts in the book is efficient management without effective leadership is like straightening deck chairs on the Titanic. So, so that's a good one as well. So that you got to have both. But if you haven't created that vision of where you want to be, you can do work all day long and end up in the wrong place. So, well, thanks, Steve, for being on, and my pleasure. Everyone have a great day, and be back next week, and someone else will kick off Monday with you.